At this time, we'll take your questions. If you'll please raise your hand, we'll bring a microphone to you. Please direct your question to a specific student athlete. Here in the front, on the left.
For Dylan, we hear talk a lot about not playing hard enough or not having enough intensity. Knowing that everybody out there wants to play hard and wants to win, what exactly does that entail, do you think?
You know, first of all, glory to God. I'm thankful to be on the stage right now. It's just a dream come true being here at March Madness. But for me, what it looks like is really just having a sense of urgency and not wanting our season to end. You know, diving on the floor for loose balls, boxing out for rebounds, just being in a stance. It's the little things, the things you can control. We can't control whether the ball goes in the basket, but we can control our effort and our energy. So just making sure our effort and our energy is just up to par and that we're ready to play each and every game. And we don't want our season to end tomorrow. We don't want our season to end next week. You know, I'm interested in playing on April 7th.
Was that just not there last night?
Yeah, I was not there. It was pitiful. It wasn't there at all. And, you know, we had a team meeting last night. We had a team meeting this morning, and so we'll be ready for tomorrow.
Could I get the same question for Denver?
Denver, same question.
Pretty much what Dylan said. Yesterday was pretty bad as far as just our effort and energy. I feel like that was the main message at halftime. We came out second half, you know what I'm saying, we picked it up a little bit, and that was the main reason why we was able to separate. But we just got to be better, just like Dylan said, and we just know that's not going to be tolerated, you know what I'm saying, in the future of this tournament if we want to have success.
We had a question on the back row on the left.
Justin Ferguson, Auburn Observer. Denver, what stands out to you about Creighton's guards and just the variety of guys they've got there defending them? They had a guy have 29, had another guy hit a ton of threes yesterday. Just kind of what stands out about them and the challenge of guarding them?
Honestly, I just feel like their movement. Just watching film on them last night and a little bit today, this morning, just watching their movement, just seeing how much they move without the ball. And obviously it's going to be a little bit more of a challenge because we know them for playing basically off full bench, 10 in, 10 out, well, 5 in, 5 out. So that's probably going to be the main challenge, is being able to just run with those guys and just playing Auburn defense.
On the right, third row.
Trevor Denton, Way 31. Dylan, I've heard some frustration from you after the last couple games here. When was the last time you felt like this team really played 40 minutes of what Auburn basketball can be?
In this arena, we played Kentucky was, I think, one of our most complete games from start to finish, especially being down a man in Denver and having Tahad step up and having, obviously, Miles Kelly go off for 30, as well as, Chad going off for 20. That was our best game as of late because, we guarded a team this averages 90, 91, 92 points per game. We held them to, 78 or 80. I'm not sure what we held them to, but we played our best defense against one of the best offenses in the whole country. That was the last time I feel like I was satisfied with our effort or energy, and we haven't been up there ever since. So, like I said, tomorrow will be a statement.
Back row here on the left.
Tahad, BP after the game praised your defense and your rebounding, and I know you've played a lot of basketball at this point now as a freshman. How much better and more comfortable do you feel on that end of the floor as maybe compared to the beginning of SEC play?
I feel a lot more comfortable, especially getting a lot of reps in practice, and having guys like Denver and Dylan around me, just helping me, try to teach me where I can be on the defensive end, showing me spots where I can get better at. So I feel a lot more comfortable now, and I feel like just playing against the teams that we played all year prepared me for moments.
Back row on the left.
For Dylan, with Louisville not playing, it's going to be Creighton. It changes the crowd dynamic. What's the message to the fans to make the trip, and you really need them as another piece of this?
Yeah, it goes back to witnessing Auburn history, with Louisville being out, there's a lot more open seats for the Auburn fans. And if you want to see this team make history, especially in March Madness, come on down tomorrow so we can feel off your energy. We're having a historic win tomorrow, hopefully, Lord willing, but people buy those tickets.
Fourth row on the right.
John Walker, Omaha World Herald. Dylan, I'm sure you've watched a little bit of film last night and this morning. What stands out to you about Ryan Kalkbrenner?
Man, he reminds me a lot of Walker Kessler. I think we all were in the same class in 2020 in high school, so I'm familiar with him. But he reminds me a lot of Walker Kessler, obviously being 7'2", and being able to just catch lobs and finish and catch everything high and finish. He's just a great player. And the thing that intrigues me most about him is his ability to drive. At 7'2", it's not something you really see. I love it for him that he's able to drive right down the slot. And it's just interesting. He's an interesting player, interesting dynamic. He's someone that at 7'2", you're not used to seeing the move like that. And so it'll be interesting to play against him, especially with us on offense. He's a great defensive factor. Like I said, there's so many comparisons to Walker Kessler that I see, and I'm excited to be able to play against him.
Third row here on the left.
Teresa Walker, the Associated Press. For Dylan, you're a big guy. Janai's a big guy. When you've got somebody like Kalkbrenner on the other side, do you kind of look forward to those battles? And how much has maybe the SEC helped? And might it be Janai who's more on him, or has that been figured out yet?
Yeah, we don't know whoever's going to be on who, but we do know that no matter who we're playing, whether it be Alabama State or Creighton or Auburn, Montgomery, it doesn't matter who you throw in front of us. We're going to be prepared to play. We're going to be excited to play. 'Cause at this point, it's anybody can get it. But for us, I think the SEC has helped us in our preparation. We haven't seen anybody as tall as him, but we have seen players just as physical. And I feel like the physicality standpoint we're prepared for. But as far as his length and his size, we haven't. As far as we haven't seen anybody, quite like him. That's it.
Any more questions? Let's go in the back row on the left.
For Denver, once you recover, just Miles picking up right where he left off the last time y'all were in Rupp, hitting all those threes early. He tied a Auburn tournament record yesterday, hitting threes. Just how much of a benefit is that, or a boost to that in the offense? That you've got a dude who's just been locked in this building when it comes to shooting the ball.
Man, obviously y'all don't hear what we see on the court, but I reached out to Miles because I knew Miles was hot, so I was like, "Yo, Miles, just help me out, give me a few more assists," because I know when he shoot it, I think it's going in every single time, and just having him out there and then having the defense just really have to respect him, it's opened up really a lot for everyone else. I feel like it just opens up a lot for us guards and it opened up a lot for the bigs down low. So it's really important that, when he's hot, he can do anything and we can do anything.
Up front here on the left.
Todd, I'm sure you haven't had many games like the Tennessee game probably in your life. How important was it for you to come out here yesterday and have a good game and kind of wash away the taste of that game?
It was very important, just knowing how much of a factor I am to the team and just not being able to produce and be productive for my team in a game like that and not help us win really hurt a lot. So I wanted to make sure, something like that, and I didn't feel that type of pain again.
Other questions? Great. Appreciate your time, guys. Thanks so much. Coach Pearl's on his way. At this time, we are glad to be joined by Auburn head coach Bruce Pearl. Coach, if you would please start us off with an opening comment, and then we'll take questions from the media.
I've known Greg McDermott for a long time, dating back to my days as an assistant for Dr. Tom Davis at the University of Iowa. And I've been a big fan of his and the way he runs his program and how competitive they are, particularly in postseason. The fact that Creighton has been to the Sweet 16 for the last 5 years speaks, volumes about what kind of program they have, what kind of coach they have, and their culture. I'd love to have a week to get ready for them because they do so many good stuff, so much good stuff that I think I would enjoy learning. And we'll be excited about trying to guard it and seeing if we can put our defensive system in place against a very unique offense with a 7'2" center and a dynamic point guard and the different pieces around them.
To media, please wait until you receive the microphone to ask your question, and also identify yourself and your media outlet each time you ask a question. In the back row on the left, please.
Justin Ferguson, the Auburn Observer. Bruce, Creighton fouls fewer times than anybody else in college basketball. What's the challenge going up against a defense like this that isn't going to send you to the line very often, and the way they play on that end of the floor?
Well, since our guys complain about getting fouled all the time, it's going to be a real tough one for us because they're just not going to foul us. So you just got to make shots. They do a good job with verticality, and they do a good job working to not foul shooters. They don't send a ton of people to the offensive glass because they take such good first shots, so there's not a lot of rebounding fouls. And the big fella, does a great job with verticality, so they're able to challenge shots at the rim with him sort of being down there, and their other players really not have to challenge shots because he challenges so many of them. So it just means our first shot offense has got to be really, really good. And I guess for us, we're pretty efficient offense, and we don't rely on the foul line like many teams do to score points. I think we get about 17 or 18% of our scoring from the free throw line, so it's not something we rely on. So that's a good thing for us.
Back row on the left.
Ryan Hennessy, NBC 13 in Birmingham. Coach, with Louisville getting out yesterday, what does that mean for you? What's the message to the fans? More seats? What do you want them to travel? What are you thinking going into tomorrow?
Well, I don't want our fans to wait thinking that Atlanta is an automatic, because it's not. And anybody that follows college basketball understands that this matchup against the number 2 team in the Big East, St. John's won the league and they're a 2 seed, and Creighton finished second in the league and played them for the championship game and they're a 9 seed. So that's a pretty big gap between those 2 teams. So obviously Creighton is an outstanding team, and there are tickets available. Plus, there's Auburn baseball is up here in Lexington, so you can get sort of a 2-for-1 this weekend. Come up and watch our baseball team. Come up and watch our basketball team, and hopefully there's plenty of seats at Rupp Arena.
Front row here on the left.
Bruce, Philip Marshall, Auburn 247 Sports. There's been a lot of talk since yesterday about effort and energy and those things, and knowing that when players are on the court that they want to play hard and they want to win. Can you what that really entails?
Yeah.
And how it happens?
Yeah, it's we've all talked about it. I talked about it in my post game. Stephen talked about it in the radio post game. Dylan Cardwell talked about it. What we do does not work without tremendous effort and energy. It's not that our guys didn't have effort and energy. It's just that you would say, and I don't mind saying this, that on most nights, Auburn is going to play harder than their opponent. Many people have said it. I insist upon it. But it doesn't always happen. And so one of the things we try to send a message to our guys yesterday is, look, what we do is not going to work unless we are put forth just a different level. Like, for example, in covering Creighton, they're going to play 5 or 6 guys who are in the best shape of their lives, and they're going to go forever, and they play really, really hard. And if we don't match that, we're not going to be successful. So it was a calling out. And we call each other out all the time. We hold each other accountable. It wasn't that we didn't have effort and energy. We just didn't have the kind of effort and energy that we're used to playing with and that we need to play with.
On the right, third row.
Trevor Denton, Way 31. Just going off of that, after those call-outs, like how was the mood from the locker room today as you get ready to attack the next challenge here in Creighton?
Well, I thought it was great, especially when it comes from within. I think it's great when the players can hold each other accountable. Everybody has to make sacrifices for the team. What are those sacrifices? The sacrifices are going to your strengths and staying away from your weaknesses, playing unselfishly on the offensive end, which we have all season long. If you look at our offensive efficiency numbers and our assist turnover ratio, and we do a great job of sharing it. That's got to continue to be the case, but just not taking plays off on the defensive end. So I thought the guys are in a good space.
Staying on the right on the fourth row.
John Walker, Omaha World Herald. Coach, when you have such a hard-nosed defense and such a complex offense, what's the key to establishing your pace and your game in a matchup like that?
Well, Creighton is sneaky good in transition. Like they really are good in transition, and they will run, and they will take advantage of our transition defense. We're a pretty good offensive rebounding team. We'll send three guys to the offensive glass a lot. They know that, so they will attack a good offensive rebounding team by making us pay at the other end, and so we'll have to be on fire in transition and not let them have that. I think the key to playing at our rhythm is when our break's not there, we'll be able to run our stuff. Creighton's not going to turn us over. They're not going to turn us over too much. We'll be able to run our stuff. The question is, are we going to execute it? And one of the keys to playing Creighton is you got to make open shots. You just got to make open shots. If you take that thing too far close to the rim, you're going to be met with something that you're not going to be very happy with.
Back row here on the left.
Bruce, it seemed like the best minutes y'all had yesterday, it was Denver and Tahad together, and I know they've played together throughout the season, but just what's the advantage of having your 2 point guards out there together, especially, maybe tomorrow in a matchup against Creighton where they've got so much experience and length and the way they like to run their defense?
Well, I think yesterday, Tahad's speed and quickness was really required because Alabama State was so fast and so quick and so small. And so we had a little jitterbug out there that could, kind of offset some of their speed and quickness. I think the fact that whether you have, let's say you have Miles Kelly and Denver and Todd out there together, you've got three playmakers. Todd can play make, Denver can play make, and so can Chad. And that makes whatever offense, you're running, that much better. So I think right now, you look at our top seven guys have played really, really well. I would like for our guys to be able to come off the bench and continue to help us. Chris Moore and Jaheim Hudson, those guys have been good coming off the bench. They'll need to play well. We don't know about Chris Moore's status right now. We hope that he'll be able to play some tomorrow. Obviously, turned his ankle a little bit, and we really won't know until game time whether or not he's going to be able to play.
Third row here on the left.
Hey, Coach Trey Wallace, Outkick. So you talked about a 2-for-1 weekend for Auburn fans. Do you have a message for Tennessee fans that will also be in the building about rooting on the SEC tomorrow night?
Trey, I appreciate that. And I had thought about that a little bit. I think because Tennessee and Auburn are in different regions, and I think because Tennessee and Auburn have played so competitively against one another, because Coach Barnes and I have got a very close relationship, and because I used to be Tennessee's coach, and it was great to be at Tennessee Vol back in the day, I think the Tennessee fans will cheer for us, and I hope they do. But they're not going to be able to make buckets or rebound the ball from the stands. So if they don't, we're just, we're going to have to win without them. But I think the SEC will be well represented tomorrow.
In the back on the left, please.
Bruce Miles is 16 of 29 from deep playing in Rupp this season. How much do you think it's this arena, this gym, these rims that he really likes, and just what a weapon that is having a guy who's that confident right now?
Well, from what I understand, Mark Pope is petitioning the NCAA to give him another year of eligibility and come after him in the transfer portal, because that's exactly what I would do if I was Kentucky's coach. He's loving what he's seeing. And so, yeah, we'll get Miles open and he'll bang shots. So, you know, there are two things right now at play. One, I was really happy for our guys because, you know, only 4 guys on my team have won an NCAA tournament game. 3 at Auburn, Chris Moore, Chennai Broom, and Dylan Cardwell. And then JP had won one at Furman. The rest of the team have not won an NCAA tournament game, okay? And, you know, we got to the Final Four in 2019, but since that time, we haven't been to the second weekend. And so none of our guys have been past this moment right now. We got a huge obstacle in our way in Creighton. But I was happy for the guys to get the one they got. And obviously be really happy for us if we can make it to Atlanta, because it'll be the first time for almost all of us.
Anything else for Coach? Great. We appreciate your time.